right? Like you want to find great actors. So the trick is, like the dream is that we make sure that everybody out there has the opportunity to come forward and shine through. And so that you end up finding great actors who look like America, because that's where we're drawing our folks from, or in this case also Chile and Peru. And that's the dream. We do in a macro way want to make sure that our cast does reflect America, because our show reflects America. These are the people that have been left behind by this apocalypse in our country. It should look like our country. Um, but we also, in a way, don't get too tripped up on trying to be too matchy with game appearances. It's more soul matching, you
I
know?
felt so grateful and so lucky, and for it really felt like like this was always the role that I was meant to play, really. And it was just a matter of time or timing working out, and it sort of just felt like everything fell into place the way it was supposed to. And I felt really cool about like, oh wow, this was always, this was The Last of Us had kind of been a huge talking point within just my family, and I would talk a lot about it with my dad, and he was a big fan of the game, and to know that it was coming back around into my life in a different way, it still felt like, wow, this is really special. And my first meeting with Neil and Craig to talk about Abby was just super easy. It was funny as I kind of also went into that meeting thinking that like, oh, I've got to this is a meeting, and then I have to really like sell myself for this like role, and I have to really pitch myself in a way, and I was ready for it because I really wanted the role. But I went into the meeting and they were just like, "Oh, we want you to play Abby," and it was just it's really shocking. And then from that point on, it was a pretty easy process. I said yes, obviously. Um, and then yeah, I was just collaborating with them from that point on, and went into shooting pretty quickly, and I was so excited.
Gustavo is one of those very important. Um, I don't even like to think of it as like, oh, he's our composer. He's our collaborator. He got to come in very, very early when we were making the game. He heard the pitch for the story and immediately came up with that beautiful theme. That's now the opening of this HBO show. So to me, there was no version where anybody else would make the music for this show. It's baked into it. You can't remove Gustavo from The Last of Us. It wouldn't be The Last of Us. And then just like everything else that we do in this adaptation process, some things we're like, let's just use the music as is. It doesn't need to change. We could just lift it from the game and put it. It's that good, right? He didn't make video game music. He made beautiful music,
Yeah.
period. And just like the adaptation of every part of the game, we sometimes get to come up with something new or slightly shift a piece of music and expand upon it. And it's just so fun to continue this collaboration because Gustavo is such a kind, generous artist. He works extremely hard and he cares about The Last of Us so much. Um, Now I'm starting to ramble,
Yeah,
but it's yeah, it's you're right that the music is a character in the story, and so much of the storytelling, the heavy lifting off. Sometimes we'll remove dialogue, and we just lean into Gustavo's music because we can create connections between scene by playing the same piece at both ends. And if you pay attention to the season, we use that device quite a bit to connect disparate scenes to each other with his beautiful.